Got it. I'll amp up the energy, make it even more hype, and make sure it hits hard. Here's the upgraded version. Listen up. What if I told you that right now, in this exact moment, your life is changing, and you don't even realize it? See, every single second that passes is gone forever. You will never, ever get this exact moment back. And the scariest part, most people are wasting their time scrolling, complaining, waiting for something to happen instead of making something happen. Every single day, every single hour, every single second, time is slipping away. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You will never get it back. Think about it. Right now, while you're reading this, the clock is moving. Seconds are flying by. Time doesn't stop for anyone. Not for you, not for me, not for the richest billionaire, not for the most powerful person in the world. Time is the only thing we all have the same amount of. But not everyone uses it the same way. Most people live like they have forever. They wake up, go through the same routine, waste hours scrolling through nonsense, complain about things that don't matter, and tell themselves, I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week turns into next year, and before they know it, years have passed, and they're still in the same place, wondering where all their time went. Time doesn't care about your excuses. Here's the brutal reality. Time keeps moving whether you're ready or not. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're scared. It doesn't care if you feel stuck. It just keeps ticking. The people who achieve insane things in life, they aren't waiting for the perfect time because they know it doesn't exist. They don't waste time hesitating, second-guessing, or overthinking. They take action. They make things happen. Because they understand one thing that most people ignore. You don't find time, you make time. Every single second, you're making a choice. Do you wake up early or hit snooze? Do you spend an hour on Netflix or an hour learning something new? Do you take that risk, start that project, chase that goal, or do you keep waiting? Every second is a decision. Right now, there's someone out there using this exact moment to change their life. While one person is wasting hours scrolling through pointless drama, someone else is using that time to build a business, learn a new skill, or take a step toward their dream. The crazy part, both people have the same 24 hours in a day. The only difference is how they choose to spend it. And the real question is, which one are you? Think about the last time you complained about something. Maybe your coffee wasn't hot enough. Maybe your Wi-Fi was slow. Maybe you had to wake up early for work and it annoyed you. Now take a step back and ask yourself, is this really a problem? Because somewhere out there, there's a person who would give anything to trade places with you. Someone who would be overjoyed to have your problem. That job you hate, someone out there has been desperately searching for work just to feed their family. That old car you're embarrassed to drive, someone out there is walking miles every day just to get where they need to go. That simple meal you're bored of eating, someone out there hasn't had a proper meal in days. We get so caught up in our own struggles that we forget how lucky we actually are. What you take for granted every day, your home, your clothes, your opportunities, could be someone else's greatest wish. Perspective changes everything. Imagine for a second that everything you have right now was taken away. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no roof over your head, no food in your fridge, no access to clean water, no friends or family to call for help. It sounds terrifying, right? But for millions of people, that's not a nightmare. That's their reality. There are people out there who don't know where their next meal is coming from. People who would do anything just to have one of the things you complain about daily. Now, does your problem still seem as big as it did a few minutes ago? You have more than you think. We live in a world where it's easy to compare ourselves to others. You see people on social media with fancy cars, luxurious vacations, designer clothes, and suddenly you feel like you don't have enough. But the truth is, if you have a bed to sleep in, food to eat, and a safe place to live, you already have more than billions of people on this planet. You might not have the biggest house, the best car, or the highest paying job, but you have something far more valuable, a chance to wake up every day and make something happen. And the question is, are you going to waste that chance complaining, or are you going to use it? Think about this. Every single person who has ever done something incredible, something life-changing, something legendary, started with one decision. One decision to take a risk. One decision to step outside their comfort zone. One decision to say, screw it. I'm going for it. And in that moment, their entire life changed. The job you have right now, It started with one decision to apply. The friends you have, it started with one decision to say hello. Every success, every failure, every moment that shaped your life, all of it traces back to one choice you made. Now here's the crazy part. The biggest moments of your life haven't even happened yet. And they're all waiting on one decision that you haven't made yet. The people who changed the world, they took risks. Think about every successful person, every game changer, every icon. Did they play it safe? Did they wait for the right time? Did they sit around and hope things would magically work out? No, they made a crazy decision, the kind that made people say, you're insane, the kind that had no guarantee, the kind that could have ended in failure, but they went for it anyway. Because here's the truth. Nothing incredible ever happens by playing it safe. If Steve Jobs didn't take the risk of starting Apple, there's no iPhone in your hand right now. If Elon Musk didn't risk everything on Tesla and SpaceX, we wouldn't be talking about electric cars and Mars missions. If your favorite musician, athlete, or creator gave up because it was too risky, you wouldn't even know their name. These people weren't lucky. They didn't have a crystal ball telling them it would work out. They just made the decision and went all in. What if the one decision you're avoiding is the one that changes everything? Right now, there's something you've been thinking about. Maybe it's a business idea. Maybe it's moving to a new city. Maybe it's finally starting that thing you've been putting off for years. But you keep hesitating. You keep waiting for the right time. You keep thinking, what if it doesn't work? But let me flip that question on you. What if it does work? What if that risk leads to the best thing that ever happened to you? What if that one decision unlocks opportunities you never even imagined? What if 5 years from now you look back and realize that the only thing standing between you and your dream life was the courage to say yes? Because the truth is, in the end, you won't regret the times you took a chance. You'll regret the times you didn't. What's the one crazy decision you've been too afraid to make, and what's stopping you from making it right now? Right now. You don't even realize how much power is inside you. You've been told what you can't do. You've been made to believe that you're just one person in a big world. You've been conditioned to think that success is only for the lucky, the rich, or the talented. But let me tell you something. That's a lie. You have more power than you think. More power to change your life, more power to create opportunities, more power to control your future, your success, your happiness. The only thing stopping you is you. The truth no one tells you, most people walk through life believing they're powerless. They think life happens to them like they're just a character in a story someone else is writing. But here's the truth, you are the author. You hold the pen. You don't have to accept your situation. You don't have to stay stuck in the same routine. You don't have to settle for good enough. You can rewrite your story anytime you choose. And guess what? Some of the most powerful, successful, and inspiring people in history started with nothing. No money, no connections, no special advantages. The only difference between them and everyone else? They realized their power. They stopped making excuses. They took control. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. The way you think determines everything. If you believe you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. If you believe you're not smart enough, you'll never try. If you believe success is for other people, you'll watch from the sidelines. But if you start believing that you can, if you start acting like you have unlimited potential, if you start making choices that push you forward instead of holding you back, your entire life will change. Because the moment you shift your mindset, the moment you realize you're in control, you become unstoppable. You've already proven it, you just don't see it yet. Think about everything you've overcome. Every challenge you thought would break you. Every moment of doubt where you kept going anyway. Every time you told yourself, I can't do this, but then you did. You've already survived things you thought you wouldn't. You've already accomplished things that once seemed impossible. So what makes you think you're not capable of more? You are. You've just been playing small. You've been underestimating yourself. You've been listening to the doubts, the fears, the voices telling you to stay in your comfort zone. But what happens when you stop listening to those voices? What happens when you own your power and start using it? What happens when you decide that nothing and no one, including yourself, is going to hold you back anymore?